I'm Tony Gittings from the Rocket Reel Company, and we're doing a series of 6 short videos explaining the mysteries of the multiply reel. We'll be taking a reel to pieces, and through the series we'll be doing other things, obviously putting things back together again, setting the reel up, and eventually talking about tuning the reel, how you set it up for fishing or for tournament casting or whatever else you want to do with it. Okay, so we have our handle assembly complete. So now we're going to come on to the mag assembly. Now, there's not a lot of lubrication you can actually do to this. Obviously, if it's had a lot of work, then just give it a clean. Once again, use the Hammerite thinners on it to give it a good clean. Not a lot of need for a lot of lubrication, perhaps a little in this speed bush here. The only thing I would actually suggest is back to the liquid grease again. Here's the liquid grease, just a little drip on here, which is on the mag control, which just stops all that annoying little rattle that you may get. On here we have the cage. This is a new cage that we've just brought out, which is actually looks like steel, but it isn't. It's actually nickel plated. High corrosion resistance apparently. And interestingly enough, where we have them laser engraved, our stuff is laser engraved on the aluminium. On this particular type of coating, you actually laser coat it first. You laser cut it first of all, and then the nickel coating goes on top, which we discovered by accident rather than design. Okay, here we are on the other side of the cage. What we do here is to give a little bit of the old liquid grease in these little holes here. The idea of this built-up shoulder is to keep the end plate more rigid, because we're trying to reduce, if possible, all the movement. So, okay, so here we have our 3 screws, and the 3 screws go into the cage. These are, I'm fiddling around here, there we are, 1, 2, 3, okay. So once again, please don't over tighten them. All we need is just a little nudge. So often damage is caused by over tightening. Okay, right, here we are. So here we have our handle assembly. Here we have the mag assembly, and we're mounted on top of the cage. Now the next little bit what we're going to look at is the spool. And what we're going to do is to take our spool assembly off. These are lightweight spools that we brought out for a few years now, and they're proved incredibly popular. Very lightweight. Reason for that is that the lighter the weight, the less inertia, the less braking you need at the start of the cast, therefore the faster it goes away. And interestingly enough, on the smaller size reels, like these ones which have got the little high capacity spool, our Mr. Lewis broke the British 125 gram record last year with one of those, using the spools. These are our own design spools. We've incorporated several additional features. We brought in the this edge lip to stop line trap, because what actually can happen is you can get line get caught between the spool and the cage on rare occurrences if you're using very light line. This helps to eliminate that, because obviously the line goes straight up and doesn't tend to go sideways. So okay, that's the first thing. The second thing that we are using here are our own bearings. Now these little babies, of course, will run as long as you want them to, even without any line on or anything. Okay, so how do we put these back together again? Now the most important thing is to make sure that we put this spool shim in place first of all, and then we're going to put the bearing in, and then we're going to put our steel 2-print brake block holder stroke drive plate in place, and on top of that we put our own ultra strong spool circlip. Okay, now our spool circlips we have specially made, which are very, very strong and won't go anywhere. So here we are, put the bearing in the other side. And this is mounted onto our one-piece solid stainless spool shaft. Just a little tiny drop of oil on there. Okay, now a lot of tournament casters like to run their reels as quickly as they possibly can. The jury's out. A lot of people use the yellow label in the bearings, but for just for this exercise, we're not going to do that. We'll come on to that. Reel tuning a little bit later on. So here we have the spool, bearings, drive plate, and super strong circlip, and these little spools will rotate as long as you want them to. Right, okay, here we go. The next phase, we're going to put the spindle into the speed bush, making sure that everything is nice and clear. And on here, we're now going to put gently our handle assembly. Okay, so this reel is almost complete. Here's our little spindle clip. We like to use our own spindle clip because that keeps everything nice, neat and tidy. And on top of that we have the end cap, which is for the end float adjustment. Here we are. Now the old thing is how much end float do I need? Well, you need just enough so you can feel it, but you can't see it. And here we go. Reel all back together again in one piece. How much time have we got?